we will do the spanner now. As you can see here with the spanner, it's asking you to begin from a known point. Now don't go clicking in here, but actually type that number in without the brackets. It's a given location, and as I said, normally you wouldn't start a spanner like that, but they want you to start in a particular location, so that way it will end up on top of that shape if you've done it right, and it's more for checking purposes than anything else. So if we follow that, we should be right. Which spanner we're doing first? This one here. Alright, so that's on page 36, drawing the spanner. These are your dimensions given, and I'll just follow those, and I'll just run through this hopefully quite quickly. Let's go with the line command. Now it's getting you to draw this thing in layer 0, and let me just digress slightly here. I would like to get you to, not that I care about sort of marking it that way, but I would like to get you thinking more of real office world, and also standards wise as well. So both the office world, probably in a mechanical sense if you're drawing something like this, and the standards will call for you to, or they cause this thing the outline of that shape. So normally you put it in a layer called outline. Now this is not covered in the book at this point, but I'd like you to start thinking about that and creating those layers where you can. So I'm going to add an extra step here which is not in here, and I'm going to draw this thing on a layer outline rather than a layer 0. The reason I'm telling you this is because you're not allowed to draw anything in layer 0. Not that you can't, but the sort of office standards do not allow it for you to draw anything in layer 0. You know, you would be frowned upon if you drew something in layer 0. So possibly you don't want to be walking into a position first up and actually embarrassing yourself by drawing something in layer 0. So I want to, and they will have the layers set up in there, much like here, so you can pick a layer. It's just that we haven't got a layer called outline. So I would like to create one here by just clicking that button there and clicking this button here, and that will create a layer called outline. Oops, how do you spell outline? Anyone know? All right, let's try again. Outline. All right. Now, of course, you can. Oops, I clicked on something. You can leave it as white if you like, or you can change it to any color that you wish for it to be. I might actually do a different color here, just for the head of it. Let's just go for something pinkish so we can see, perhaps. And okay, that, and then of course you've got other issues while I'm here, other options here while I'm here to show you. You see how it says dash line there? You could actually set it so it is dashed if you want, or some other line type that you might want. We're not going to bother changing that. Continuous is what we want. Now, how do we draw in that layer? Well, you can double click here, and it makes it current, and that means, let's put a little tick next to it, it means it's the current layer that you'll be drawing on, rather than 0 that it was before. If you forget to do that, that's not a problem. Say you forgot to do that, if I just click back there, you can just click back in here afterwards and go and find outline, which is all the way down here, and click on the word outline. Don't click on the color, don't click on the lock, click on the word, all right? And that makes it current. So now I'm going to start drawing using that layer. So if I go line, I click on the line, I can type in L, enter, all right? Remember, every time you type something in, you've got to press enter. That's the rules of AutoCAD. If I go 134, all right, comma, 110, enter, it starts from that point. Excellent. And now don't go clicking to the end point there, because that's actually cheating. All right. In fact, I want you to turn off your object snap altogether, so there's not that temptation for you to click there. All right. So according to the book here, the next dimension is 17.5 minus 1.5. So it's 17.5 all the way down there. So minus 1.5 back. So it's 16. Enter. So I've got my ortho on, I'm pointing that way, and I'm just typing 16. So that's another way of doing it. If I was to do it using the relative coordinates, I will go at 16 in the x, comma, 0 in the y, because I'm not going up at all in the y. Or I could input that using the polar option, which means I'm giving it a distance and an angle by going at 16 distance, angle 0. So I'm going 0 in 3 o'clock position, all right? But much easier if it's just a horizontal line, just point that way and type in 16 like I'm just doing. All right. Now how do we do the next bit? Well, the next bit is 1.5 that way and 1.5 up. So that's quite easy. I'll go at, so shift at. Again, make sure that this little guy down here called dynamic input is off. Okay? Otherwise, it can mess about with the absolute and relative coordinates a bit, and it could get confusing and things might not work for you. So it assumes that that guy is off, all right? So I'm going at 1.5, comma 1.5, enter. Oh, idiot. What have I done? What happened there? It's not 15. I put at 1.5, comma 15. Hey, I did that on purpose, just to show you what you do if you make a mistake, okay? All right, well, if you make a mistake, if you have a look down here, there is a thing called undo. You can either click that, or there's a highlighted letter in blue, U. You can press U and enter, and it will go back one step. All right, don't go escaping, getting out of it, because it will actually, if you get out of it, then if you've done a few more lines and you press undo, then it will undo all the lines, the whole group of lines. All right, so whilst you're in the command, just click undo. All right, so go back one step and make sure I do it right this time. At 1.5, comma 1.5, enter. What's going on with my point? It doesn't work. Try it again. Here we go. There you go. All right, so we're going up. The next one is actually 8 minus 1.5 minus 1.5, which is actually 5. So I'm going up 5, and then this one here, it's going back 1.5 but up 1.5 because now we haven't really covered that much in the coordinate system before, but if you're going to the left in the x, it's negative numbers, and if you're going down in the y-axis, it's negative numbers as well. All right, so in this case only one number is negative, and that's the x, because I'm going left. So I'm going to go at minus 1.5 comma 1.5. In other words, positive 1.5 in the y. There you go, there I am. And the other one is 16, which is the same as the one on the bottom. So I'll just type in 16, enter. That's so easy. Now the next bit is actually near the bottom of page 36. It tells you what it is. But basically the angle, if I have a look at the book here, the angle is 25.5 in there. But what is it down the bottom here? What's that in there? All right. That's also 25.5. But if that's 0 over here, 90 up there, and over here is 180. In other words, this is 25.5 above 180. So it's a little bit less than 180. So it's 180 minus 25.5. And according to the book, the answer is 154.5 is the angle there. All right, so that's what it is. Now, all right, so that's given to us, so it's easy to just put in. But what if it wasn't given to you? You know, how do you work it out? You have to sort of imagine that circle there. I'll stop this command because so I can show you something. If I go bring this back, let's type in oops. The command oops is actually correct. It does exist. Okay, move that, and I'll put that. If I put that here where I was last, you can see what I mean a bit better. There's the 180 there. All right, there's the 90 up there. All right, don't worry about the minus ones. All right, so this line here is 25 off that plane there. So all the way from 0 over here all the way around is basically 154.5 or something. All right, so just imagine this little thing where you are, and then that's your new sort of 0, 0 location. All right, so let me just erase that for now. I can bring it back by typing oops later. So now if I stop the line there, you guys normally wouldn't stop it, you just keep going. I can type in L for line, enter, If I press enter one more time, this is a little trick that the book probably doesn't tell you. If I press enter one more time, it goes and latches itself at the last point that we were at last time. All right. So now I can just type in at 13.5 length, angle 154.5. Is that right? Yep. Enter. All right. So there it is. Okay, so now, how do we do the next bit? The next bit actually is given to us by saying that it's 5.13 in the x, but going left, and it's 3.69 in the y, but going down. All right, so we go at, so it's a bit of a trick there, be careful, minus, I nearly fell into that, 5.13, comma, minus again, 3.69. Okay, so be careful. You don't take the numbers as they are there. Put the minus sign in front of those numbers. All right. All right. So now I've got the minus sign there. I just go enter. Now notice when I start typing numbers in, I don't actually click down here to start typing something in. I just type it. So you don't have to click in there to type something. It just does it. All right. So going down, this is just 3 millimeters. So I just type in 3, enter. Now the next bit says it's the next few. This one's here. Let's take ortho off, F8. This one, down here, and there. They're all 6 long, and they're all basically, it's a hexagon, so it's basically, I think, 120. But they're multiples of 30. So this angle here, if I put ortho back on, that in there is 30. All right, so, and then this one going down here, from that position, is also a 30. So let's see how we go. So this one is at 6, angle 30, and that's it. Now this one here, see how there, if I go there, that's to the right, that's actually 0. So this is 30, this line here, this blue one, below 0. So I can actually just input it as either at 6, angle minus 30, or 330, which is 360 minus 30. Right? Either way, I prefer the little numbers, minus 30. Right? Next one is 6, so just go straight down 6, enter. And the next one is, now the next one is, if I just keep that horizontal there, that's the 180. So if it's a multiple of 30, it must be 180 plus 30. So I go, that's 210. So you go at 6, angle, 210, enter that. And now this one here is a bit tricky. If I go back to this thing here, it's a bit hard to see, but that angle there is that there, 45 degrees off. If we continue that line through, if someone drew that across there, that'll be 45 in there, all right? So it's 45 below the 0. The 0 is here, all right? So if we're here, for example, if we had our little circle here, if you imagine that there, and there's the 0, and there's a 180. Well, from the 0, we're just 45 below, all right? So we can just put in 3, so it's at 3 at the angle of minus 45. And then to finish off here, I will just type the number in again, especially if I've finished halfway through. If I type in C for close, it won't, because I have stopped it, remember, somewhere around here to show you something. So it'll go back there if I go C for close. So I just type in the number 134, 110, enter. And enter again to finish. And that's the spanner. Right, stop that one there.